Thanks, Alicia. Hi, everyone. So you've probably all seen these posters all over the building and campus. And the goal with them was just to let people know about the show in the gallery at Cal AT2. The fall exhibit is called Between Thingness and Being, and it's by artist Terike Haapoja. She is originally from Finland and represented Finland in the Venice Biennale. So she's kind of a big deal in the art world, and we were really lucky to have her here. She came out and spoke to us in October. So we have a nice lecture that she put together, and it's available on YouTube if any of you want to watch it, and even closed captioned, which makes it even easier. So I thought what I would do, the gallery itself is open every day, 12 to 5. So if you or your friends or family ever just have downtime and you want to go check it out, you're welcome to. These are some examples of the work in the show. So Terike is here in the orange, and Pinar Yildiz is next to her. She's a faculty from visual arts, and both of them are really interested in this topic of the Anthropocene, which is how humans are affecting the environment. Something we're all super aware of right now because of all the wildfires that are going on, and people are trying to figure out what caused them and what we can do about them. And this topic of climate change is something that's being brought up again and again by artists because we want to figure out what we can do about it. So in the show are a couple installations. The main one that you'll see is this horse. I guess I could. Do you have the mouse? We have several mice out here. Here we go. So this one is the horse, and it's kind of the star of the show. It's a long video. It takes about 25 minutes to watch the whole thing, and even that has been cut down. Originally, it was a 9-hour-long video. Yeah. And the story behind it is really kind of interesting. So Terike had a friend who was a veterinarian, and the veterinarian gets called in when a horse gets injured and can no longer work, right? And so the veterinarian was called in to put down this horse, which is, you know, a sad part of their job. And so she called her artist friend and said, look, the horse is in a facility. It's going to be chopped up into bits. You know, can you grab your infrared camera and come document the death of this beautiful creature? And so, of course, Terike did, and she filmed it. And so you can see, I think most people are familiar with infrared. The red here is the warmth, and the blue is cool. So the horse was already dead by the time Terike came on the scene. However, it was still warm, and so the body was cooling over 9 hours, which is kind of gross when you think about it, but it's Halloween, so we're delving in. And part of what the piece, you know, makes you kind of think about is, where do we draw this line between life and death? How do we determine the point at which the horse actually died? Is there something still going on as the heat escapes? Can technology tell us more information than we commonly believe? And what's the point at which technology doesn't really help us, and maybe we need to turn to another kind of understanding? So if you ever want to spend 25 minutes contemplating these issues, you can do that in the gallery. It's a quiet show. We often have music and sound, but not this time. It's meant to be kind of contemplative. And there's another piece Sorry, I keep turning away from the cameras. There's another piece that's also kind of quiet. It's this one, and it's called Mind Over Matter Over Mind. And it's a monitor, and when you first look at it, it's kind of abstract. You don't really know what you're looking at. So Terike was really helpful and provided us the image source here. So these are ultrasound images. A couple friends of hers were pregnant, and so when they went to get their ultrasound at 20 weeks, Terike talked them into loaning her their data. And so she was looking at these and trying to figure out, well, you know, do they look human at all? At what point do they start seeming like these are going to be little people? And at what point, you know, in between it looks a little bit, you know, monstrous and confusing. And so what she did was she created a video that very slowly goes from one picture to another to another. So the end result is kind of confusing and a little bit creepy, and really makes you question, what are you looking at? Even if you've been told what it is you're looking at, you're still kind of trying to find the human in the picture. So that's what these two works are about. There are a couple more pieces. I think almost everyone has walked by our front hallway, which we're very happy to have beautiful photographs in. And these photographs, I'm happy to say, were made just for us in the show. And they're new work by Terike, so they've never been shown before. And it comes out of an experience the artist had struggling with cancer. And she went through treatment, and it really made her question her own relationship to her body and what it means when your body starts to seem to turn on itself, or when it seems to be attacked by something else, and what is the nature of your body versus this disease. So a lot of the pictures in these are self-portraits. One of my favorite ones, which isn't in this photo, is actually a portrait of her and her dog, and they're wearing masks, and as she says, they're pretending to be human together. So there's a lot of this play in her work between nature and humanity, also between humans and animals. One of the things she told us at the opening was that she's a vegan and doesn't even want to eat animals. And so it's just a way of letting us know she tries to live her values as well as exhibit them. The last piece is in the huge background photo that I put on this wall. And these are some little tiny videos that you'll see if you walk down the hall towards Nano 3. There's little tiny videos playing, and they're all text-based. So there's some photos that show historical scenes from Finland, which is where she's from, and there are other slides that are just text. And all of those videos are part of a much larger piece she did called the Museum of Non-Humanity. And what she's looking at is things like the definitions of human, the definitions of person, the definitions of thing. And she's kind of trying to get into this area of, at what point are you considered a person and therefore can have human rights and be able to control your own destiny? And she's very concerned that certain other species of animals that should have rights don't in fact have rights and aren't being treated well. And what can we do in order to treat everyone better, including other humans? So hopefully I'm okay on my time. That's just a quick introduction to the gallery and the show we have on right now. We'll have another show in January, which I'm looking forward to very much, and I'll make sure to get word out about that a little closer to the date. Thank you very much.